Hello and welcome. I am not your tour guide. My name is Rose Skelton. I am your host, though. So today I'm here to talk with an amazing couple. I'm super excited because if you guys remember, maybe some of you are new listeners, but if you are a veteran listener, last year I was lucky enough to interview this incredible lady. Her name is Melanie Tucci, and she introduced us to her travel company, Travel Light. So she shared some amazing adventures, and it was incredible to listen to someone who really just lights that fire of wanderlust within people and inspires others to see things that they might not experience on their own or without that motivation. So during that podcast with Melanie, she bragged about her hysterical boyfriend who apparently loved to travel as much as she does. And so today I get to interview this dynamic duo because they are now hosting these trips as a couple. So welcome to the show, Melanie and Enzo. Nice to meet you, Enzo.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks, Starla. We are really excited. I'm excited to be back, and I'm excited to have my co-host here with me.
Thank you for the title. I got promoted from assistant to co-host very recently, so this is good.
Just to kind of start us out here, before we talk about the world of travel, because that's what I love to do, I would love a little bit of background info. I'm lucky enough to have met Melanie. Don't know much about you yet, Enzo, except for you're hysterical and you make people laugh. So is that kind of how you roped in Melanie with your sense of humor, or how did you two meet?
Yeah. Thank you for calling me hysterical. No pressure. I'm hysterical because I'm a stand-up comedian, and yes, I guess I did get you with a little wit. We actually met in Denver through my coworker, and it was her best friend, and she introduced us. And yeah, actually, Melanie was not a big fan of me when she first met me.
Really?
It took a little bit to warm up to him, but
Yeah.
we did hit it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had to win her back so much that I followed her to Mexico, because that was right before she was going to go on her 9-month solo adventure.
Wow.
And we really hit it off the first night that we met, and we just kept texting. And I was working for a recruiting company in Denver, and I was just like, hey, I have some PTO. Where are you going to be in a couple of weeks? And we met in Oaxaca, Mexico.
Wow.
And
Spent a week together.
Yeah, spent a week together.
We barely knew each other.
We only spent like 6 hours together the first night that we met. And then the next time we saw each other was for 7 days in Mexico.
Wow. I mean, some people might call that dangerous, but it
Very dangerous.
ended up a good.
That's funny.
A good thing, right?
Yeah.
I love you.
I could have been a
because-
murderer.
We met 2 weeks before I was leaving for 9 months. So it was like right before my big trip. And so, yeah, we either weren't going to see each other for 9 months, or he was going to come find me somewhere. And
Yeah.
thankfully he came to Mexico.
Let me tell you my first thought when you just told me this intro to your love story. You knew she was going somewhere for 9 months, and you were still like, hell yeah, like this is my girl. Like she's about to leave for 9 months. Or it was just like so intriguing to you because she was so ballsy, or like what was the attraction? Because I just know a lot of people would be like, oh, you're leaving for 9 months, call me when you get back. Or, it might be a turnoff, but for you, it sounds like it was like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. For us, it was just, we had a really good time when we hung out that first night, and we went dancing. We went to a salsa club because she loved dancing. That's why she was going to South America for so long, because she loved that culture. And we just really hit it off. And it wasn't like, the first night I'm like, oh, I'm going to follow you wherever you go. It was like, we texted for a couple of weeks. Yeah, I wasn't stalking her. But we texted for a couple of weeks, and she was just having so much fun, and it was very light. It was very nonchalant.
You were also jealous of my trip.
Yes, I was very jealous because I've never done solo traveling, and she was just doing so many fun things, and I'm just like, where can I do this? Where can I go?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I'm going to be here on these dates if you want to meet me here. And I'm like, done.
Yeah.
I'm there.
That's awesome. So she was like an inspiration in some sort of way. Like, wow, how awesome is that? And so for you, Melanie, what attracted, what was it about Enzo that you were attracted to?
Well, he spoke Spanish.
Ooh.
He speaks Spanish. He still
Nice.
speaks Spanish. And we went salsa dancing, and we just really hit it off. We had a great connection. And then the fact that he came to Mexico and we had such a good time traveling together. Like, that's a test. Traveling together is a good test for a couple.
Huge.
And we just had so much fun. We traveled really well together. And then throughout like the next several months, he never tried to tie me down. He wasn't like, come back home, I miss you. No, none of that. He was like, stay as long as you can. This is the greatest time of your life. Have fun. I'll be here when you get back. He was just so supportive of my whole journey in South America. So that really attracted me to him as well.
And really, because I wouldn't want anyone to tell me to come back if I'm doing that adventure, as we're both individuals. We were together, but we're individuals. And it was just like, dude, live it up. I mean, when are you going to do this again? And hell, I mean, it turns out now she does it for a living, but, but it was just like,
Never ends.
it was really special the way we met and the way we kept seeing each other in just different countries. Because the next time after that, I saw her was like a month or two later, and it was in Colombia. So we've seen each other 3 times and in 3 different countries.
Wow.
It was kind of fun.
Yeah. So I like how you said it was special. I feel like this is definitely a special relationship, how much you support each other. And it just sounds like the amount of trust, that you put in each other and just encourage each other. I love to hear all that. That to me, in my world, I feel like that's a unique bond that you might come across. So my next question, it's really good to transition into, is that because the first 3 times y'all really were hanging out together, they were in different countries. Is it just kind of a natural thing that you two have started to host trips together?
It's been easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did my first, no, we did a trip together on the Tour de Mont Blanc, and then I did one by myself. It works out really well to have both of us together. I think we make a great team when we're co-hosting the trips.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have our strengths, and I have my weaknesses, and that's
He's good. He's really good.
and but yeah, hosting trips, it is so fun, and it's amazing that we get to pursue this as a career, really.
Yeah.
I mean, we also do real estate, and I'm pursuing stand-up, but to be able to travel to different countries and have such a fun group of people join us and introduce them to something that they maybe never would have experienced if they didn't join our group trip, it is special. It's really, really special.
That's awesome. So which countries or cities have you two been able to host together thus far?
Our first one was the Tour de Mont Blanc, which was a 105-ish mile hike around Europe through Italy, France, and Switzerland. So that was the first one we did together.
That was amazing.
That's awesome.
And then we did an island hopping trip through the San Blas Islands in Panama, and
Nice.
And we ended in Colombia, so it was 2 countries on that trip. And then just recently, last month, oh my gosh, it's May already.
No.
2 months ago, we did Colombia. We did a trip just in Colombia and we did the Lost City Trek on that one. So those are the places that we have co-hosted trips together so far, and we have a lot more on the books.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have. She's doing the Camino, the Santiago, and she's leaving in 5 days. She's going to do that for 2 months, and then we are doing the AV1 in Italy.
Wow.
And then right after that, we're doing Patagonia. And then you have a women's retreat in Sedona, Arizona, a domestic group trip that I can't go to that one. And and then next year it's
Everest.
we're going to Mount Everest base camp. So we got a solid couple of months coming up.
So at the end of the podcast, I'll give you as much time as you want. But just for people listening now, like if they're like, how do I find out more about these trips? Is there a website or how would people contact you to find out more information?
Yes, our website is travellightadventures.com.
Okay.
And I send out a monthly newsletter, and I send out all the trips via email. So go to the website, sign up for the email list. And then I also put a lot of content on Instagram that showcases the trips.
Yeah.
So you can find me on Instagram. My handle is Travel Tooch, Tooch.
Travel Tooch. Okay. And I'll add that into your bio, you guys' bio as well.
Awesome.
Have you noticed that social media is very helpful in your world?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. That's how we make sales.
Yeah, that's where Melanie finds her clients. That's where we can promote our trips. Because when you're on the fence about going on a trip and then you see the pictures that we take, then you're like, oh, I'm going on the next one. So it helps a lot.
Yeah, people are visual, right? Just to see something, be like, wow,
yeah,
that looks amazing. Yeah, I stalk your Instagram stories, Melanie, and I'm always like, oh, she's just living her best life. Like, I mean, you guys are just killing it. And earlier, Enzo, you mentioned that you both have strengths, when it comes to these adventures and hosting these trips together. So what would each of you say that your strengths are when it does come to planning these tours?
I do all the planning.
Mm-hmm.
And I am there for comedic relief. That is, if anybody's having a bad time, I just tell them a joke or something. That's literally all I do.
He does a lot on the trips. I do all the planning and the organizing and talking to vendors and just putting together the whole itinerary.
Yeah.
And then communicating with the groups. We always have a WhatsApp group before our trips, so we do a Zoom call so we all get to know each other. And then once we get there, then I start telling Enzo what to do. And he's learning about the itinerary kind of with everyone else.
What are we doing?
He's like, we're doing what? And then it's honestly perfect because I get a little overwhelmed with all the details on the trip. Mm-hmm. And so there's just so many times where I'm just like, hey, can you call the bus driver and make sure he's coming tomorrow, or whatever needs to be done at that moment. Hey, can you order dinner for everyone? I just kind of boss him around in a nice way, but he's also like, he just knows that like that's the best way that he can help on the trips. And so he does just such an awesome job of taking care of things and also taking care of the groups.
Melanie is very organized and is very good at planning. Mm-hmm. If I try to do it, I would just get in her way. Mm-hmm. So I pretty much just, like I said, I'm the co-host of these trips. She has the idea, she has the itinerary, she has the plan, and whenever she needs me, I just jump into action, whether it's gathering people or, like she said, transportation. Hey, call this person, get this, and do that.
Carry these people's backpacks.
Carry backpacks, yeah. Sometimes when we've gone on a couple of trips, just people weren't physically prepared for it, so they needed to get some relief, and then I just carried 2 backpacks for a while. So so from comedian to mule, I think I range anywhere between those 2 spectrums.
Okay, no, that's great. These trips cannot take place without Melanie. She does it. She does the planning. She gets everything perfect. And like these trips are amazing. But then for you, for your side of it as well, I personally think your position is hard as well, because you ever use that saying in the movie Gladiator where like he goes down and he comes up and he's like, "Are you not entertained?" Like sometimes you're just like really you just want people to have a good time, and when they're not,
Yeah.
because it's like not their comfort zone and things are different, to have somebody there that can really just make them feel like at home or like comfortable in this different place, like that's a huge skill as well. Wouldn't you say, Melanie?
Yeah, definitely. I remember a specific time on our trek in Colombia where for like the last 20 minutes of the day, it just felt like it would never end when we were hiking. And he was telling joke after joke.
And nobody wanted to hear it, honestly, but everybody was so pissed off and tired because it was the longest day of hiking we've ever done. But I just needed to make sure everybody had morale, and honestly, everybody's hatred towards me talking united everyone and got them through that trek.
You're like, shut up.
You're the morale mule.
Exactly, the morale mule is right.
Mule. That's
And
a tongue twister.
Yeah. I just have a lot higher of a social meter than Melanie. Sometimes people just want to keep either talking or maybe don't want to end the night if we're doing it before or after a hike. We're in the city and stuff like that, and we don't want to leave the group unattended. So sometimes she's like, hey, I've been planning, my head's about to explode, I'm gonna go to bed. I was like, all right, I'm gonna make sure everybody gets home safely. So it's like we have very good
You're the party mule.
I'm the party mule. I'm gonna make a shirt that says party mule. Wait, no, that actually sounds like I transfer drugs.
Yeah, it does.
I'm the party mule.
Maybe not. You're going to get arrested.
Yeah.
Oh man, if we have people listening right now and they're like, man, this sounds kind of up my alley, what would you want to tell people? What could they expect when they took a trip with you two? Because I feel like if you're just a person who loves laying on the beach, nothing against that, not all of these trips might be for them, right?
We do active trips.
Yeah, they're more adventures than vacations.
Yes, we go on adventures. You might need to take a vacation after it.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us some examples.
Yeah, so we focus on multi-day trekking. Almost all of our trips involve trekking multiple days in a row. So whether that's the Tour de Mont Blanc or the W Trek in Patagonia or the Lost City Trek in Colombia. So, and then the other thing that you can expect on our trips is that we stay indoors every night. We're sleeping in a bed every night.
Yeah, we're not camping.
So
you lose me at camping.
Yeah, we don't do camping on our trips. We stay indoors, which and I think it's just this really great balance of spending the day in nature, but then also having a cozy bed at night. And also having access to like a bar that serves beer and wine and then meals that we don't have to cook ourselves. So we're not carrying a bunch of food. We carry light backpacks and we really just get to enjoy nature, and then someone else takes care of us at night. So that's how we organize these trips. They're based around multi-day trekking.
Yeah.
Hut to hut trekking is another term for it.
A lot of adventures. For example, you asked for an example in the Lost City. We did 5 days of hiking, right? 5 days?
4.
4 days.
It was a 4-day trek.
4-day trek, out and back.
Okay.
We were staying in nice huts with nice beds. The food was amazing. So if you're a foodie, most of our trips we get to enjoy really good authentic food in most of the places that we go. Tour de Mont Blanc, I mean, best food I've had anywhere. Like, it was ridiculous, and we were doing this in a refugio, so we do get to explore those luxuries, but most of them are adventures. I think one of the coolest adventures that we had was in Colombia in the Lost City Trek on our last day after hiking, I don't know, 3.5 days, 10 hours each day. The guide was like, hey, I know most of some of the guys here, if you want, we could offer you a motorcycle service where some guys will pretty much just carry our bags and we get to ride in the back of these motorcycles through the Colombian jungle. Wow. And it was like a crazy experience. It was a no-brainer for us because it was like, you want to do 6 more hours of hiking or a 20-minute motorcycle ride through the jungle? And we're like, yes, 20-minute motorcycle ride. And it was, unbelievable experience. So yeah, it was
so much fun.
And it's not vacations per se, but during that same trip, our relaxing time, like at the end of each hike, we went to the river, to the water, and we just hung out there, had a beer. So it's just kind of like, type 2 fun.
Yeah. And Melanie, remind everybody what type 2 fun is, because we talked about this on your podcast.
Yeah, type 2 fun is when it's not always fun in the moment, but when you look back on it, you're like, that was freaking awesome.
There's 3 types of fun. There's type 1 fun, which is just fun. It's just fun before and after. It's just fun. Type 2 is, it might not be fun during it, but afterwards, you definitely look back on it.
Yeah.
And then there's type 3 fun, which we looked it up. It's not fun at all. It's it's
more
just
like trauma.
It's just trauma. It's
not fun now, and it won't be
it
fun
won't be later.
either.
And so ours we're right in the middle, type 2.
But we also, there's a lot of, I don't want it to sound like we're just go all the time.
No.
Because I'm not that kind of person. So when I'm planning these trips, I plan for downtime. And I think it's important on a group trip that people have time to relax and to also, if there's anything specific that they want to do that isn't already included, like maybe go out souvenir shopping or something, that they can do that. So I don't want it to sound like if you come on our trips, it's like boot camp or something.
No.
It's a lot of fun and it involves a lot of hiking. So it's a nice balance and there's plenty of downtime.
Yeah, like in the Tour de Mont Blanc, one day we spent the whole day in a spa. We were just in a spa in Italy. Italy? Yeah, Italy. And we got massages. We were in Whirlpool and just sunbathing, eating. And so it's like we know that the things that we're doing might be a little physically enduring because it's an adventure. So we're gonna have days in there that we're just gonna hang out and enjoy being out there.
What's the camaraderie or the community like by the end of a trip usually with your group? It's
the best.
It really is. It's you get a group of individuals together that range from, our last trip was 22 years old to 65 years old.
Wow.
And it was, everybody's just in good spirit. Everybody wants to not get through it together, but endure it together. It really is, you really build some really strong bonds at the end of every day because you're going through some pretty difficult stuff sometimes. And when you do it together and you have something look like, oh, remember this, remember that, you build really, really good relationships in the process.
Yeah. And we're starting to have people show up on multiple trips. So now we're getting like a fan base, and there's people who will come on, like people who came to Panama, who then also came on the trip to Colombia. And
they're also
coming to Italy, and they'll probably come to Everest. And it's just like this group of people is starting to form to where now when we host trips, several people already have met each other on previous trips. So that's really cool to see.
And it's not just us that notice it. Even the people around us on the hikes notice it. When we went through the Tour de Mont Blanc, we go from refugio to refugio.
Those are what the mountain lodges are called.
The mountain lodges. And typically if somebody starts on the same day and you guys are more or less on the same pace, you're going to stay together, even if you're not in that group, in each lodge throughout the entire trip. And we met this wonderful, not couple. It was just,
I was going to say couple too, but they're not a couple.
It's somebody that lives in England and another person that lives in LA, and they're friends, and
they go trekking together.
And we met them during the Tour de Mont Blanc trek, and we kept in contact with them, and Melanie kept posting about the trips, and they just came with us to the Colombia trip, and they are, one of the most beautiful people we've ever met. We never would have met them if we didn't do these trips. It was really cool.
That's pretty beautiful. Do you two like together as a couple have a favorite place, or does it just depend on your mood? And like, I don't know, do y'all look at each other and you're just like Colombia, or like, I don't know.
Okay.
How do y'all feel?
Let's say it at the same time. No?
Okay, go.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Colombia.
Tournament Blanc. Okay. Nope. Okay. Mine was the Tournament Blanc. Colombia was really special. I guess Tournament Blanc.
We've been to Colombia now several times together.
Yeah.
And when we talk, if we're ever like, oh, we should move somewhere, we talk about Colombia.
Yeah, I was thinking more of just like the hosting trips.
Our favorite trip.
Our favorite trip that we've done. I think Tournament Blanc. Colombia for sure would be like my go-to if we had to move or anything. But
favorite trip.
my favorite trek, because I think it was my first multi-day trek, and it was a very wonderful experience for me. And I'm Italian, so I was able to go back to Italy, and I wasn't born there, but I don't know. It felt nice.
Yeah. And do you guys have a special moment that you have shared, I don't know, in the last year or so while traveling? I got a little
Oh man, we forgot to bring that up.
Yeah.
So when we were on our Panama trip, at the very end, about half the group had already left, and there was 5 or 6 people still there that extended their stay. And we got engaged in Cartagena, Colombia.
It was nuts.
In July of last year.
It wasn't even, and it's so funny. Before we went on that, at the airport, before we left for this trip, I was just like, hey, I want to let you know, like, just to be clear, I'm not planning to propose on this trip. And she's like, thank God. I don't want you to propose. There's too many people. I don't want that type of attention. And then, like, on the last couple of days, we were walking down the streets of Cartagena, and we see the cutest freaking dog after dinner. And we see this dog in this store. And then we just go in to pet a dog, and it was a jewelry store. And then Melanie found a ring that she absolutely loved. And
nice.
It's too bright.
It's a Colombian emerald.
Yeah, it's a Colombian emerald.
Oh, that was beautiful.
And then it just happened.
Yeah, we got engaged the next day.
Yeah, the next day.
I would say that we really fall in love with each other. I know this sounds so freaking corny, but like we fall in love with each other all over again on these trips.
Yeah, it really is.
Wait, so have you ever had any other couples?
Disgusting.
Have you had any other couples come on these trips with you? Oh, because that would be a good advertisement. Come fall in love all over again.
Well, have we had couples?
Have we had couples?
Yes.
I'm sure. Well, we had like Brian and Debbie.
Yes.
And
we've had a couple.
Oh my gosh, on our Italy trip in a couple months, it's like all couples.
All couples.
We have at least 4 couples coming on that one.
But we've created a lot of couples.
We created a couple.
Yeah. We created 3 couples, and one of them is like, they're going to tie the knot for sure. They're obsessed with each other.
We had 2 people come on our Panama trip who ended up falling in love, and that's the only couple that's lasted, right?
Yeah.
So overall, these trips are for active people who like to laugh. Okay. You provide endless entertainment, and also there is some downtime, right? Foodies, come on. So there's a big market, for who you're reaching. It's just not the people who don't want to do nothing.
People are surprised. Most people are surprised on how well prepared they are for it. They thought we had a lady that came on our last trip that was terrified to come because she was very nervous about her knees and her legs because she's had issues in the past. And she prepared so well. She was the strongest hiker.
Wow.
She was like, she was what, 54?
In her 50s,
She finished the hike before anyone. And so it's not crazy.
You don't have to be a marathon runner or you should train.
You have to be active.
If you don't, you're still going to make it, but you're not going to have as much fun. So training is a big part of our trips. Once you sign up, we send out a training plan so that everybody knows exactly how to get prepared. And really the best way that you can prepare is getting your backpack and getting your shoes and walking with it as much as possible before the trip starts and doing things like the Stairmaster or the treadmill at an incline. So that's another thing that I really love about our trips is that the transformation starts as soon as you sign up because you have to get ready for it. So it gets people moving.
Yeah, it's kind of inspiring, right? You know, if people need something to, sometimes we need a little bit of motivation in life that comes from the outside. And this could be something if somebody's listening right now and they just need a little oomph, you know, not saying you're lazy, not saying you're out of shape, but sometimes you just need that push. And to, if they get with you guys on a trip, you give them that outside motivation and it gives them something to work towards. I mean, what a great reward. You know, they end the trip with you. I just feel like that's you guys also inspire people. Like is that part of your goal?
Yeah, definitely. That's why a part of why I post so much on Instagram is to inspire people, and it's a big part of what really made me take the leap to choose to do the Camino de Santiago that I'm starting in a week. Or I'm starting on May 13th, but that was one of the big drivers for me was like, okay, there's this thing I really want to do. It scares the heck out of me. And it's also just so long. It's 555 miles. And I don't know if I can do it, but I want to show people that when you have a dream and when something keeps calling you, that you just have to do it. Mm-hmm. You just have to do it. So that's, yeah, I'm hoping to inspire a lot of people through doing the Camino.
And you're doing this by yourself?
Yep.
Enzo, you're getting kicked to the curb for 40 days?
I'm okay with that. I mean, I like hiking, but that's a lot of walking. And someone's got to stay here with the dogs.
Yes.
And we have a bunch of rentals that we have to look after. So, yeah. And I think that's why our relationship works so well, because I think Melanie, not to be corny, but she's, a free bird. And you try to tame her, like, it's not going to work. You got to let her do her adventures, her trips. And I've just been lucky enough to be a part of the trips. So yeah, I'm okay with not going on this one.
That's good. I'm excited for you, Melanie. Are you in that phase right now of just sheer excitement, or are you still kind of planning it?
I'm really excited. I am just trying to get everything done before leaving. So we've launched several trips recently. I've still need to launch Everest Base Camp before I leave. So I am just trying to get all my affairs in order because I will be gone for 3 months in Europe.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah. You should see the
to-do
list that I have while she's gone. I mean, it's going to feel like she never even left. She's just going to text me things. Did you do this? Did you do that? But I need it, though.
People are going to think I'm insane.
No, you're not insane. I am insane. I am, like, my brain just works so differently than hers. And it's very complimentary because I am, let's just do it. We'll figure it out on the way. She's like, we're not moving until we figure this out. So it's a good mix of, it's just a good mix.
Yeah. And speaking of you two being wonderful together, but you're very different as people, as humans, which is amazing. And thankfully, we do live in this world where there is diversity and we do enjoy different things and in different ways. And so with that in mind, just because you two share a passion to travel in a specific way, whenever you guys are grouped on group trips, doesn't mean everybody travels like you guys. So I'm curious, without saying any names, without throwing anybody under the bus, is it ever difficult to accommodate like so many personalities since you are spending like 7 to 10 to, however many days together, depending on, the length of your trip?
I don't think it's difficult because we tell people in the beginning of our pretty good guidelines to follow when we're hiking. Like, we tell people, don't be afraid to bring your headphones and hike on your own. Like, this is your vacation. This is a group adventure, but this is your adventure. If you want to go alone for a little bit and you want to walk ahead or hang back, like, do you, and sometimes people might not talk a lot and are just kind of introverted. but they're still having a good time. Some people talk way too much, but they're still having a good time. And it's just, we do bring a lot of different type of people, but we make it very clear that this is a group adventure, but this is your adventure. We want you to enjoy it. So do what you need to do to make sure that you get the best out of this trip.
I think that we do a good job in the description of the trip of getting the right kind of people there to where there's not anybody who's like, I thought that we were sleeping in a 5-star hotel and this is like a bunk bed.
Yeah.
So we
Yesterday we had that conversation.
we do a good job of when I on my website I say, is this trip is right for you if you're open-minded, you're really flexible, you're okay if plans change sometimes. You're going to train for this trip. You understand that we're going to be sleeping in bunk beds and you're going to be sharing a room. So we do a good job of I think some people probably see that and they're like, ooh, I probably shouldn't do this trip because I'm not like comfortable in that setting, and so then they just wouldn't even show up. So I think that we get the right types of people on our trip.
I know people can travel on their own, but it is intimidating. Sometimes not everybody has your kind of personality. It might be intimidating. They might be scared, or they might think they can't do it. But you get in a group setting and they get under guys like you to feel encouraged and to just feel like, oh, like I can do this. That has to make you feel good, right? Does that give you some like a little bit of goosebumps going on?
Yeah, for sure. It's an awesome feeling to see people show up, and I know that on the Lost City trek in particular, we had several new people who had never left the country and who had never done a trek like that before. And there's like this feeling when people like that first start where, and I always make sure, Enzo and I make sure that, especially in the very beginning of the trek, if there's anybody going at a slower pace, we stay with those people. In the beginning of the Lost City trek, we were staying with a couple people who were going slower. And we were just teaching them like how to pace yourself because they wanted to like power up the hills and be like, let's just get to the top. And it's like, this is a 4-day trek. It's about the journey. You don't want to just get to the top or you're going to be so out of breath. So there's teaching moments too of like, here's some tips of how to enjoy this, how to take it slowly, one foot in front of the other. Like it's not a race. Nobody's expected to go fast. There's no competition, and we try to hang back most of the time with the back of the group.
In the Colombia trip, the people that she's mentioning at the end of the trip, she was like, I'm so thankful that you guys stayed back with me. If you guys wouldn't, I would have turned around. Like I would have like been done, because if no one's done this type of thing, it is kind of like, whoa, what is this?
It's intimidating.
It's intimidating. And if you try to power through it, it's like, no, this is a journey. A cool thing that we like to do at the end of our trips is what is it? Rose, thorn, and bud. Yeah. So it's like, what rose, thorn, and bud. It's like, what's your favorite part of this trip? What was your least favorite part of this trip? And what's something that you learned? And it's very emotional because it's only 4 days, but we're spending a lot of hours together. We're through those 4 days or 6 days or 9 days. And we it gets really emotional, and it gets really intimate, and it's really special.
I mean, I'm just relating it in my head to, I've done trips like this in the past, but just for anybody who maybe hasn't done a trip like this, if you go to the gym and you're in CrossFit and you do one hard hour, right? It's funny how much you connect with maybe your partner that you worked with, because it's like you feel like this sense of like, oh, accomplishment, and I did it. And like you're bonded with somebody kind of almost immediately because you overcame something together. So I can
trauma
feel,
bonding.
Yes, trauma bonding. Yes. If you can feel that way in an hour at the gym, just think about after, 4 days, with these people, like I understand how emotional you could get, because in the real world, travel time in the real time, for some reason, it's just different times, right? Like 4 days of travel is really like 3 months in the real world, right? Like as far as how much you bond with people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Anybody who listens to this podcast regularly or not regularly knows I'm a big old quote nerd. And so I was looking for something that kind of related to you guys, just of what I know from Melanie. And so I read something from Bo Taplin, who is an author and like a social media influencer. And he said this. He said, "Why should a relationship mean settling down? Wait for someone who won't let life escape you, who'll challenge you and drive you toward your dreams. Someone spontaneous who you can get lost in the world with. A relationship with the right person is a release, not a restriction." So I read it and I was like, oh, this is pretty powerful. And it kind of, even though I don't know you guys, I just somehow related it to you. And, it says, is a
That's
release,
perfect.
not a restriction. So do you guys agree with this sentiment? And if you do, or if you don't, like, do you guys feel like you have grown together since you travel together?
Yeah, 100%. I think with us, it's, for me personally, like if you're not growing, you're shrinking. And so being able to not be restricted and pursue our passions of travel, and for me, comedy, it's to have a partner that allows you to explore that is really, really important. And something that it can't be overlooked, because not a lot of people have that in their lives. And so having a partner that allows you to explore your passions and explore your dreams and live your dreams is non-restrictive at all.
Yeah.
Penelope's making a bunch of noise.
Yeah, sorry, that's our dog scratching herself right now. Ruined by a really sweet moment.
Penelope.
That was a sweet moment.
Yeah, so freedom in a relationship for me is really, really important. Like Enzo mentioned earlier, it's just part of who I am. If somebody tries to get me to not travel, there is no faster way to get me out of your life than if you try to stop me from traveling. Enzo and I have always supported each other's passions. He goes out and does stand-up comedy most nights during the week, and it's just really important for both of us to not only have a life together but be able to pursue our own dreams. So when I brought up going on the Camino to him, I knew I was going to be gone for 2 months, and so
You're kind of nervous to ask me.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been with someone who would be so supportive of, hey, you mind if I leave our entire life for 60 days? Because that's how long we're going to be apart. Yeah. Like he said, we run a real estate business, and he's going to have to really take care of everything while I'm gone. So that was a big thing. And I asked him about it, and he didn't hesitate to say, yeah, you definitely need to do that. So
yeah, this has been on our bucket list for a long time. It'd be selfish of me to be saying no. But I could also, I think if I wasn't okay with it, that would also be okay. But I know Melanie, and she needs to do this, and so it's a calling for her. As long as she doesn't come across any people that speak Spanish and know how to salsa dance, I think our relationship will be still good by the end of it. But if she finds someone in Spain that speaks Spanish and knows how to dance, it might be rocky.
Oh man, but no.
I love that quote though. Good job finding that.
That was a great quote.
I don't want to presume that I know you guys, but just the little I knew about Melanie and what she told me about you, I was like, yeah, they just seem to have that solid relationship where they're not restricting each other. It's just like, hey, you do you, you be you. To me, that's beautiful and gives me chill bumps just talking to you about it, because I don't know, that's pretty beautiful. I like you guys.
Oh, thanks. We like you too.
Thanks. Yeah, we like you too, Starla. Wish we could be friends in real life.
I know.
Yeah, where do you live?
She's in Seattle.
Oh, Seattle.
Great question. And I was going to say that for the podcast, you guys are living in St. Louis?
St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay. St. Louis, Missouri. So right now, so at the end, in just a few minutes, I want to ask you guys just a few fun questions to kind of ended on a positive note and not me crying over your love story and how beautiful it is. Before I ask you those questions, kind of use this next few minutes. What should people know? How to find you? I mean, Enzo, if you want to tell us how to find you, like, can we look YouTube your comedic acts as well?
So to find us, come to our website, travellightadventures.com, and then check out our Instagrams.
Yeah.
Enzo's is more comedy focused. Mine is all travel.
Yeah. Yeah, just follow her, and then you'll see me. Travel Tooch. Follow her on Instagram. We also have a YouTube channel.
His is at Enzo Comedy.
Yeah, at Enzo Comedy.
And he posts some really funny reels.
Yeah.
Good.
We have a YouTube channel that it's called Travel Light Adventure Duo, and we just started doing that a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, Instagram and then Travel Light Adventures is the best way to find us.
And then for your podcast,
Yes.
what do you guys usually cover?
Traveling.
We talk about our trips, packing ideas. We did one about so after we get back from every trip, we're going to do a podcast episode. So we did one about the Lost City trek, about our experience in Colombia.
We do one before, one after. We just did one about safety, about solo traveling, because, we do group trips and everybody, it's safe when you're in a group trip, but sometimes you just, need to do a solo trip and how to stay safe in that regard.
Yeah.
And, we try to think of the avatar of who we try to reach as Melanie 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. And it's like, what would that person want to listen to? What would that person want to hear? And then we just kind of think about that. And I just ask her questions, because you've been to how many countries?
30-something.
30-something. I haven't been to that many countries. So she's a traveler, and I'm just curious. As, just as a comedian, you just always ask questions. And so it's just good. It's just,
Our podcast has been fun.
yeah, it's been really fun. Besides the editing, other than that, it's been real fun.
And then upcoming trips we have
Yes.
are Patagonia in November. We have 2 group trips. One is November 9th to the 17th, and the other is November 23rd to December 1st.
Right.
The second one's over Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So come spend Thanksgiving in Patagonia with us. Go to the website to see that trip.
You don't have to use a lot of PTO on that one. And the week before is Memorial Day weekend, so you don't have...
No, it's President's Day, I think.
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day?
Something like that.
There's
one
some kind of
those.
holiday. And then we have a Sedona Women's Retreat. That's yoga, meditation, and hiking. That's in October. Awesome. We still have a couple spots left on that. And then we're going to Everest Base Camp in April 2025. So, Starla, you know how awesome that trip is. And that'll be launching soon.
Yeah, the EBC, Everest Base Camp trek. Oh, man. Is this going to be your first time, Enzo?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. These are all my first times.
Holy shit, right? That is like the best trip ever.
Yeah. And I don't know if I can say this anymore. I used to say that I didn't like hiking. And I can't say that anymore, because now I get excited for it. But
he's from Florida, so
there's no hiking in Florida, And I was just like, you just want to go walk for 5 days, and I'm coming around to it now. But anytime Melanie's like, you want to do what? And then she shows me pictures, and then she shows me the food. I'm like, all right, I can walk to get to these destinations, because I like hiking when you get to go somewhere and be like, whoa, look at these mountains, or look at this waterfall, look at where we're at.
That's everywhere we go.
Yeah, but when you want to go hiking every weekend around here, it's like, all right, relax.
Not as appealing in St. Louis.
You want to go walk around St. Louis?
No, but I love all of this. So we can find you. We're gonna plan trips with you, whether we want yoga, hiking, Everest Base Camp, which is I cannot wait to hear your stories from that. I know you do your own podcast, but I'm gonna have to re-interview y'all after that trip, because I'm curious to know how his soul gets sucked into the Himalayas. That's gonna be.
Oh yeah, baby!
It does it. Just sucks you in.
I'm excited.
It does.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why she started
Can't
trekking.
wait to go back. Yeah.
For another time, but. When she went to
trekking in
Nepal, that's when she fell in love with trekking.
That's when you fell in love? Okay. So if I am going to end with you two beautiful, dynamic duo, power travel couple, 3 just fun, silly questions. Number one, and you can tell me I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Do you guys have trail names?
No, but we do have Trail Princess.
What is that?
Yeah, every day in all of our treks, we choose a Trail Princess. And the Trail Princess gets to choose rules throughout the hike for that day, and everybody's got to follow them. And at the end of our hike, at dinner, the Trail Princess chooses a topic of conversation. It's just a fun way to.
And they have a sash.
And they wear a sash. They wear a sash all day, so everybody knows that they're the Trail Princess.
Even cooler.
And it's like, it's fun stuff. Like, some people make simple rules as like, throughout this hike, you got to tell me 3 things that you love about this hike, or But it could be as silly as, I'm gonna say mine because I thought it was hilarious.
Oh my gosh!
Every time, we eat a lot of food over there, and so sometimes you got to fart, and every time you fart, everybody had to say "Thank you, princess." So I made sure I farted a lot on that day because I was a trail princess.
And then you would tell us.
And how funny is it?
"Thank
It's
you,
like you're farting. It's like, "Thank you, princess." And
You know
was
what?
funny.
You're transitioning me into my second question for you guys.
Perfect.
Rather well.
Awesome.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not comfortable, 10 being so comfortable, what's your comfortability level with pooping on the trail?
So we don't have to do it a lot.
No.
Really? Okay.
Honestly.
Okay.
The hikes that we do, there's a lot of stops. There's a lot of places that you can stop, and there's restrooms, or like in Colombia, every 2 hours we were somewhere that was selling drinks. Like, you can get a Coke or a Gatorade and a snack, and you can use the restroom.
Yeah, there's a lot of lodges because we do these hut to hut treks, so we don't usually have to poop outside. But if we had to, I would be fine with it.
Yeah, we do talk about poop a lot on these trips.
Yeah.
And not a lot, but it's just like, your body's getting to be in a completely different environment, eat completely different food. Some people react to it very differently. So, we know if someone's having issues, right?
Yeah.
And yeah.
We talk through it.
We talk through it.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, everybody's like, I've never talked about poop so much. And it's like, but it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Poop bonding. Yeah. That's what, yeah.
Poop bonding.
Yeah,
Poop trauma bonding.
Trauma bonding.
no.
I need a hat that says that. I kind of you know how many people would ask you what that meant if you wore a hat?
Yeah.
Yeah. The diarrhea diaries.
Like, are you okay?
The diarrhea diaries.
That's
All
pretty
right, that's
funny.
enough. We've
You guys. Okay, last fun question. And this is just something that my partner and I play sometimes just because why not? Some people play the win the lottery game. We play the what if game with travel. So if I said to you, hey, you have unlimited funds for a full year, but you can only stay on one continent. Which continent are you guys picking? Or are you going to get a divorce over this one?
Let's say it at the same time.
I'm afraid of what I say might not be a continent.
Okay, let's find out.
Okay. No, I'm really nervous.
1, 2, 3. Asia.
Europe. Is that a continent?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, Europe. Yeah, you get so many.
I thought you'd say Asia. We talk about going to Asia all the time.
I know, but like with Europe, you have so many different options, I feel like with Asia, I don't know. Yeah, Asia, like I have no interest of going to China. So that takes a big part of Asia out.
I think of like Southeast Asia, Japan, Korea, Indonesia,
Nepal.
For a whole year.
Philippines. Yeah, Nepal, India.
You don't need a lot of unlimited money to go to the Philippines, but like Japan.
Yeah. Europe is definitely more expensive.
Yeah, definitely. Europe would be
So if it was unlimited funds.
bougie. I'd
You
be
could really
Paris,
ball out.
Rome. Yeah, I'd be.
We could also
that'd be
ball
a
out in
vacation.
Asia, though.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Such a good question. Oh my God. I
Yeah.
just
That's-
wish it was reality so bad.
know.
Right. I will let y'all talk about that one over dinner. That'll be a good
Yeah.
one because I do like your perspective, Enzo, as far as Europe is a lot more expensive. So if you wanted to do everything you ever wanted to do in Europe and then just do Asia on a budget, but at the same time, if you could have unlimited with Asia, the amount of hiking, like
The
the equipment you
sushi,
could get,
the
and
food.
it'd just be amazing. Yeah, I think it's like a win-win situation, but I get
Yeah.
both. I get both perspectives.
Okay. Wait,
My
we have a
gosh.
question for you. We
Okay.
thought of one.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
hear it.
we thought of this today.
Perfect.
It's a would you rather.
Okay.
Would you rather have unlimited flights, like unlimited money for flights, or unlimited money for hotels?
That's a great question. Just have one counter question before I answer. For these unlimited flights, am I on standby?
No. It's like
class.
you can have. It's like you can have the first class flights or 5-star hotels. Like there's no. You have like a credit card that is unlimited for flights
Okay.
or hotels.
Okay, then it's an easy answer. For me, I'm going to say unlimited flights for the main reason, the main reason being it's weird. I am very comfortable like staying in a $1 tea house in Nepal. Like I can sleep like a baby and just be comfortable and love it because I'm like in this atmosphere of culture. But on a flight, it's like blah. Like I'm not feeling like I'm learning about a culture on a flight. Give me first class on this flight, right?
Yeah.
I'll
I
bougie
had
it
the
up.
same
I'll drink
answer.
mimosas and go all over the world.
But here's the thing: you could stay at a hotel for a long time. You could be in Japan in a 5-star hotel for a year if you wanted to.
That's crazy talk.
But that's the thing. But then you'd have
That's
to.
just free rent.
Yeah, I guess that's a completely
You would
different
just
question.
stay over there.
First class ticket from Seattle to Kathmandu, I'm pretty sure, just depending on the day, can be anywhere between $8,000 and $10,000. I can use that for accommodations.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
But I get what you're saying, but I don't know. I would rather just be bougie on a flight and then just
Well rested after a flight,
Oh.
I can only imagine.
yeah. But I like that question. Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah.
You can steal it.
Yeah, but you guys are awesome. I love talking to you. You have a great dynamic, minus the whole. I mean, take travel out of it. You two are just fun. Yeah, I can tell you love each other, respect each other. Blah blah blah. I'm not trying to be cheesy and corny again, but you guys are fun. You guys are fun together.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank y'all for.
It's been a lot of
doing
fun. Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Maybe one day we will meet in Seattle.
IRL.
or another country.
In another country.
At some point, I'm going to do a travel light adventure. 100%. I'm doing it.
Woo.
I can't tell you which one yet, but I'm doing it. It'll be fun.
yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
All
When are
right?
you going back to Nepal? I need to know this.
I'm thinking about it. I got a lot of things like going in my life right now, but good things. Good things like getting
Awesome.
my master's, stuff like that. So I'm trying to
Oh,
figure
wow.
out,
damn.
like planning. But I love
Sweet.
travel. It's my jam. I will be going back to Nepal. I just can't tell you when, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'll let
I
you
can't
know.
wait to hear about it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much. Y'all are awesome.
Thank you,
Thank you.
I'll
Starla.
talk to you again. Enzo, nice to meet you. Mel,
Likewise.
Yeah. Melanie, I feel like I know you.
Thanks for
even though
having
we've
us.
never met in person, but I feel
I
like we're
know.
friends.
That's crazy.
All right. We all have a great night.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
All right,
too. Bye.
Attention passengers, we've now reached our destination. We hope you enjoyed the flight and have a nice day.